Hello, my name is Hector Martinez, and I'm going to talk about who Mexico was 100 years ago and compare it with now. I want to start with the works. There are many jobs that most likely not longer exist today. Who called the sharpener? In Latin Spanish, it will be afilador. I hope an ETR will say. This was a man who walked the street, and you could ask him. They are champagne things for you, such as kitchen utensils or tools such as scissors, razors. Although was more normal to see them in more populated and urban cities. A job not longer existence, although it's curious to know that it's a job. Or the best known Asian works, The Milkman and Landliner, one of the best known works of the time, and they are because they were the most common. And I have some stories of my grandmother with used jobs, like when my grandmother is very little and she wakes up very early to test out the milkman. My grandmother maybe lived the last days of used jobs because even for her time, there were jobs that were hardly seen anymore. And where I lived, there was not Lamplighter because it was a very small town that didn't even have president or city council. There were literal farms from the world. In fact, my grandmother said that the soldiers came to stay on these farms when my great grandmother was very young, and that they had to hide the girls and adolescents because the soldiers took advantage of them. Uh, Very interesting stories, but continuing with the works, these works no longer exist today. Like the milkman, the milk can be obtained in any store or market, and the lamplighter is no longer necessary because the streetlighters no longer exist. Instead, we have lighting by electricity. The work that continues today and that existed 100 years by money, or if not 200, is the Sunmaker. In fact, this work continues to adapt them to present. Because going to a Sunmaker is where to fix your shoes or tennis or boots. And trust me, it is very cheap. It is an excellent decision if you do not have money for more shoes or boots. They can make custom shoes and boots. You can customize the wherever you want, and it is job that very few value because it is easier to buy others' choice. But well, if you have your choice or you have the broken and you don't want to throw it away, the maker will fix it without a problem. He also clean it and replace part to make it look like a new. I say this from experience. And a topic related in choice, I also want to talk about clothes. The clothes of 100 years ago were different from today at least in terms of fashion, because there are still clothes from the time that are still used today. For example, denim. It was used a lot in work clothing, and it was more common to see it in farmers or blacksmiths. Not is used a lot fashion garment, and it is just most common the so-called jeans. But the most common fashion or clothing of 100 years ago was very simple sentence. Most of Mexico was poor and they always went in and out of conflict. All interracials are dressed or dresses very conspicuously. For a normal person, the simple countries were parents, shirt and pair of shoes. A case of working urban location and country person was manly, denim clothing, such as overall or pants. The woman, if there is little more variety. Dress, pants, shirts. Many these clothes vary in colors and shapes, compared to the men, who is only white shirts or less striking colors such as gray or brown. And to finish, the food. I can say food that is even over 100 years old. Mexico is rich in gastronomy, and that today it is one of those things that represent in Mexico a lot. Entomatadas, tacos, burritos, enchiladas, pozole, chiles rellenos, and great, etc. And that today is a great constant in Mexico. The food has not changed much. Preparing is a matter of age one. Although today we have more variety, typical food from other countries that are also very rich. It is a great beauty to have a lot variety here in Mexico, and hopeful other countries like typical foods Mexican a lot. Okay, it's all. Thank you very much for watching and for joining me. My name is Hector Martinez, and see you.